Okay, so let's look at the second part of this review. And we want to know what's the difference between the horizontal line test and the vertical line test. Okay, it's been a little while since we talked about this. Okay, so remember that the horizontal line test, and I'll put here horizontal line test, tells us if, how do I want to write it? If the inverse of a function is a function. Whereas the vertical line test, that's going to tell us, if a graph represents a function. Okay, so let's see. So the horizontal line test would be something, if I took this, okay, that's a function. Okay, so I'm looking at the parabola. The parabola is a function here. So the horizontal line test, if I did this, see how a horizontal line touches in two spots? That tells me that the inverse is not a function. Okay, whereas like the vertical line test might be something, let's say like this. Let's say that this was the original function right here. The vertical line test right here would tell me this is not a function. So it's something that I want you to make sure you're very clear. Vertical line test is a thing that we've been doing since Math 1. That just tells us if something we're looking at is a function. The horizontal line test will tell us if the inverse is a function. Okay? Okay, how are the graphs of a function and inverse related? Okay, they are reflections. Over the line. Y equals X. Okay, and again, we haven't talked about this in a little while. Okay, so we're going to look at this. So on the quiz, I'm going to give you something real simple. It'll be probably a line. And just ask you to find its inverse and to graph it. Okay, so remember, or let's go ahead and let's just graph this one right here. Okay, the slope is 3, the y-intercept is 1. So I'm going to go to 1, up 3 over 1. I'm going to go down 3, back 1. Okay, so that's the original function. It passes the vertical line test. It's a function. It also passes the horizontal line test, which tells me that its inverse will also be a function. Okay, so let's find its inverse. So I'm going to go y equals 3x plus 1, and then I'm going to switch x and y. And then I have to solve for x. So I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. And then I'm going to divide everything by 3. So I'm going to do each piece by 3. Okay, I'm going to put y on this side. And then this x over 3, I'm going to write it as 1/3 x. And then I'm going to write it like this. Okay, so that is my inverse function. Now, when I go to graph that, it's kind of hard to graph because of the 1/3 and then another third. I probably won't get it very perfect. So something that kind of works really nice is let's just switch these points. So right here on the original graph, I had the point 0, 1. So I'm going to make that 1, 0. Okay, on the original graph I had -1, -2. So I'm going to make that -2, -1. So -2, -1. Okay, we had here 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to switch X and Y and make that 4, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then let's draw in that. That'll just be a lot more accurate than if we tried to do it again using the 1/3. But let's see if it matches this. So yeah, the y-intercept looks like it's at -1/3. And then if I went up 1 over 3, that looks like it's in about the right spot. Now remember that this is a reflection over the line y equals x. Okay, so y equals x, remember that just goes right through the origin. The y-intercept is 0, slope is 1. And that if I folded my paper right on this red line, this blue line would go right on top of the pencil line. Okay, so, and I always want to make sure that I'm labeling it so that this right here was the original function. This is f of x. This right here is the inverse function. And then this right here is the line y equals x. We could just say f of x equals x. Okay, so that you're going to have something like that you're going to have to do on that quiz. Okay, let's look at the back part. Okay, so the back part here, I want you guys to put these in, okay, and then I'm going to make a separate video. So pause the video, and those points were missing on your paper, so go ahead and put those in.